Hello. I always feel like this is super close to my face. I gotta figure out. Hey guys, welcome to another Make Dinner with Me. How's everyone doing today? It's post-election day. Is that what you said? Post-election day. So we are here on Wednesday, November 6th, and it's Hump Day. So I guess that's one good thing. Hump Day is always a fun day because it's the middle of the week, so that means you're that much closer to the end of the week. And today, I'm actually going to have the salmon cakes I made yesterday because I was meal prepping them yesterday. And here they are in my container that I put in the fridge. And I'm going to reheat them up in my air fryer just because I like it crispy. And so the air fryer always makes it nice and crispy. Hi, Melissa. How are you? I am, however, making some mac and cheese. It is boxed mac and cheese, but because I don't have enough, I only have, this is all I have left of mac and cheese. It's Baby Shark. Of course, Kiara picked this one out in the supermarket. But it's only like 5 ounces, so it's even smaller than a regular box. So I'm throwing in regular pasta, and then we're just gonna jazz it up. We're gonna jazz it up with some extra cheese and cream and make it good, basically. So I'm gonna be giving that to the kids, and my husband wants some too because he likes mac and cheese. I was gonna make tacos, but my husband is very, very adamant about having sour cream with his tacos. So we'll do that tomorrow since we don't have the sour cream today. And I'm trying to debate how to eat these. I'm debating if I want to put like in a sandwich or dipping them in a sauce. I'm not sure. I could do either. It's not like I'm going to eat all of this either because there are like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 patties in here. I'm kind of feeling the sandwich route because I kind of want to like put a pickle in it, maybe some lettuce and some honey mustard dressing or something like that. So that's what I'm leaning towards. Let me know if you're watching, whether you're watching live or on the replay, what you're having for dinner tonight, if you already ate it. It's 5 o'clock. Most people are having dinner around this time, which is why I come on at this time. But anyways, yeah, let me know. And waiting for the water to boil. I did make some chicken nuggets for my kiddos to throw with their mac and cheese because I want them to have some protein with it. So I don't know if I should put that on the side or chop it up. If it was me, I would chop it up, but because kids are picky, how many mamas watching have picky eaters or had picky eaters? Your kids are grown now. But mine tend to be picky on that kind of sense. So what I'm going to do is take them out for now and stick in my salmon cakes. Let's see, if I'm putting this in a sandwich, I might be able to fit 2. I don't know, I'll have to slice it. I'm going to see if I have any long ones. This looks sort of long. All right, putting 2 in for now in the air fryer. Probably only 3 minutes. There we go. What I do need is to get my bread and toast it. I really like a toasted bread when I'm having a sandwich. So I'm going to do that. Melissa says she has a picky grandson. So, yeah, and he's young. I think the younger they are, the pickier they are. And they could stay picky on some things, but in some things they change. So there's a possibility with that. But anyways, let me get the toast and we'll talk about today's topic. thing I don't like about using OneStream, I am using OneStream for Facebook and YouTube if you're watching on there now. One thing I don't like, which I'm experimenting to see which is the best platform, it's supposed to show me comments, but when I was going through the comments from the previous one, it seemed like somebody left a comment and they were watching live, and I never saw that. So that's what I got to figure out about that, because I don't want to not answer people when they ask something. See if I could set this up the right way. It says connect chat. All right, I'm going to write something in the chat, see if it pops up. I just wrote testing. So it's showing that it posted it only on YouTube. I wonder why. So it's only for YouTube? Well, that stinks. Hey, Nicole, how are you, dear? I'm just trying to figure out. I feel like I need to have my iPad now set up as well. Have all 3 devices so I can manage comments on one. The good thing is Instagram shows the comments there, so that's nice. But this thing seems like it's only showing for YouTube, not for Facebook. So I'm sorry if you're watching on Facebook Live right now. I cannot see comments, but I will definitely answer them after the live stream. Anyways, Cole says, "Hola, ¿cómo estás?" I am doing well, my dear. Doing well, my dear. I am about to eat the salmon cakes I made yesterday for my dinner tonight. I'm toasting some bread. I just put it in the toaster. And I'm making mac and cheese. That is what's going on tonight. I call it on the fly, or what's the other thing I used to say? Like a bootleg dinner. Just throwing things together. Okay, let's see if this is done. It dinged. I think it could go longer. Man, I have this feeling that there's a hair. Oh, here it is. I felt a hair underneath my arm, and I was like, this is really bothering me. Okay, so no bueno. Who's no bueno? You're no bueno? I know nothing more than that. Oh, okay. My dinners are bootleg. Your dinners are not bootleg. Or you just mean for the mere fact of throwing things together? Because sometimes there's days like that. Like some days I am put together. I have everything laid out that I'm going to make for this meal, whether it's a meal I've done in the past or a new recipe I'm trying. I'll, buy everything ahead of time that I need and start going through the process. I'll start an hour before it's time for dinner, and it's like a whole shebang. And then there's other days where I'm not put together and it's like, okay, whatever, it's last minute. A lot of times when I look at the clock and I'm like, oh shoot, it's already 4:00 and I haven't even taken meat out or anything like that. That's when I just kind of scramble and we'll be like, all right, well, we're just going to put some things together and call it a meal. But for a lot of times when that happens, for me, I already have stuff ready for me because I meal prep. The majority of my meal prepping is for me, for my dietary needs, for my fitness and weight loss goals. So a lot of times it will be stuff that, my husband and kids either won't want to eat or, it's just not really for them, although my kids will eat some of my stuff. But my husband told me that there was some leftovers of the sloppy joe that I made him. So I was like, all right, whatever. So he was like, I'll have some of the mac and cheese that you're making for the kids. And there's that. So it's kind of like, whatever, throw some together and everybody is going to be happy and fed. and that's it. So I'm actually happy that I have my salmon cakes already made so that I can just whip a nice sandwich together. So Cole said salmon cakes. Oh, salmon cakes are no bueno. I think that's what you said because you don't like fish. And then you bought Buris ramen kit at Costco, and it's looking super sad. Why is it looking sad? Never heard of Berea, but I'd like to know why it's looking sad. Speaking of ramen, I do have some ramen. It's a gluten-free ramen without like the packets that, like when you buy old school packages with the ramen noodles and like packets with MSG and stuff like that. It's not that. It's just the ramen noodles. Maybe I should do a recipe with that. Now you're making me want ramen. What's wrong with you? Oh, man. All right. Anywho's it's. My water's still not boiling. What the heck? Oh, it would help if I had it on high, right? Maybe that would make it boil. Oh, goodness gracious. All right, so my bread, I need it to be toastier. You guys can't see me over here, right? I'm at the air fryer and the toaster, which is on my island. I'll show you real quick. Aha! Air fryer. Oh, I just hit my finger and that hurt. Toaster. Can't even point. And then hubby. Oh. Yeah, I just hit my finger on the counter over here. I don't know why or how, but I just did. So, anyways, it's. Why are you saying, oh, Steph? What did I do? It's a Mexican beef that's simmered and most delish, but there's like no beef in here. And the veggies. You have to take a picture. Yeah, take a picture and let me know how that comes out. But anyways, I got some thoughts in my head for ramen for another time. Because obviously, oh, see, now it's boiling really nicely. I had to put it on high. So like I said, I only have one box of a small amount of, mac and cheese. So I'm throwing in some more pasta. They're not the same shape, but I don't care. And then I'm just gonna throw some cheese and make it more mac and cheesy. There we go. That'll work. Like I said, bootleg. The water boil. I know. I had it on medium. It said. Yeah, it said medium, so like halfway. And I was like, that's why my water's not boiling. All right, did my toast pop yet? So anyways, I'm going to put some pickles on this. And what else do I put? Maybe honey mustard? Thinking honey mustard. See what I have for veggies. Aha! Toasted toast. Ooh, hallelujah. Mayhem happening. Mayhem. No, I do that like almost all the time. Because I forget about the setting. All right, anyways. We're going to get into today's topic. But I just wanted to. That's how I have it placed. I feel like I should cut it so it fits better on there. I don't know. I don't think anything I'm going to do is making it fit better. Anyways, this. All right, so today's topic, we're going to talk about navigating emotional eating as a busy mom. So a lot of us can struggle with eating, when we're emotional or something's going on, because we're juggling different things that cause stress and exhaustion and having so many different responsibilities. And so I feel like emotional eating can be very much a learned habit. And we have to kind of unlearn it and learn how to cope or comfort ourselves in those moments with something else besides food. So the three common triggers for emotion eating, like the three feelings that we feel, is either one, loneliness or boredom. When you're lonely, you can be bored too. I find when I'm rarely bored, but I've had times where I've been just kind of alone and feeling like, you know, what do I do with myself, or what's how life can be different or whatever, or I just can't focus on anything else, and so I'll focus on that, focus on eating. So that's one, is that loneliness and boredom, and we can feel that too. One of like the top times that I felt lonely was in the beginning of becoming a mom, because I just had all these feelings inside of me. And even though I had family surrounding me, I had, people that wanted to help, it just still felt lonely being in the circumstance that I was in. Like nobody could understand what I was going through, even though there was tons of people around me. Like I lived with my parents when I had my kids. I had my husband, my siblings, but it still felt lonely. So I often ate at night, like at crazy times of the day too. And part of it was me nursing twins, and the more you're nursing, the more hungry you become. But I was like eating at like 2, 3 in the morning, and it became a habit. Like things like that, as they go on, it becomes a habit. Another thing is just stress, overwhelm. That's another trigger. The more busy we are, the more we feel like we have no time, overwhelmed by all the different things on our calendar. Sometimes we're just consumed about what's the next thing we got to do, the next thing we got to do. That can have us turn to food to kind of cope through all of that. And then exhaustion, like feeling tired, feeling like you can't manage it anymore, like burnout. We often get our energies really low, and we'll just reach for something that's comforting. And sometimes when we do these things, we don't stop. Have you ever like kind of seen those examples even on TV where a girl just had a breakup and she's sitting down with a whole pint of ice cream? Like, they've painted those kind of pictures, and it may not look like that for you. I know for sure it doesn't look like that for me. But even with healthy food, making foods that are like sugar free or fat free, or without certain ingredients, and they're really good, like to your brain, this tastes good and it feels good, you're hitting that dopamine, and you just will continue to consume it, and consume it in a way that's just to cope through what you're doing, to comfort you through what's going on, instead of eating it because you are actually hungry, or you're having a nice sweet snack during your snack times or whatever. So those are the top three, I would say, for emotion, is that loneliness and boredom, stress and sadness, and then fatigue and overwhelm. So why do we turn to emotional eating? Well, like I mentioned already, we use it as a comfort mechanism. It releases these feel-good chemicals like dopamine, and it can literally lift our mood and stress at the moment. At the moment, it doesn't take your worries away. It doesn't change the situation that's happening, but at the moment, you're able to focus on the food, how good the food is, instead of what you were focusing on before. But once you finish that food or whatever, you're back to thinking about what's going on in the first place. It changes it distracts you from the emotion, and then, like I said, it gives you that kind of instant energy boost at the moment. But then you may have a crash because of all that sugar, that you're intaking. And some people, it's not always sugar for them. It could be salty, savory snacks. But regardless, those salty, savory snacks are still most likely carbohydrate snacks, which produce sugar in the body, which can also still give you a crash. So that's often the top reasons why we turn to them. And so I just want to give you 3 practical steps to manage emotional eating. And it's not perfectness. We're still going to deal with it, even though we may go through these steps. I go through these steps when I'm feeling down or whatever. But it's the practice of it. It's the kind of rewiring the brain, like retraining the brain from these habits. And how do we build habits? By doing them over and over again. It's not an overnight thing that just completely changes, right? It's just not. So the first thing is awareness. Like, pause and identify what you're actually feeling. Am I feeling really stressed and overwhelmed? Am I exhausted? Like, I'm always in a constant state of hurry. And because I'm a constant state of being rushed and hurried, I'm exhausted, I'm fatigued, I'm not getting sleep. Sleep, very important. Is it sadness? Am I lonely? Like, think about what is the emotion that you're feeling right now, and bring that awareness to yourself first. You may do this before you actually reach for something to eat, which is not easy, I know, because in the moment it's like an instant reflex. But if we can keep thinking about it, then maybe, just maybe, the next time you do reach for something, you can say, wait, what somebody said makes sense, and I'm going to think about this before I reach for something. The next thing is you can write it down. I mean, not a lot of people like to journal, but I do think it's a good way to kind of write down all your thoughts. I'm the type of person, I used to do this, and I still kind of do, where I did have a journal and I would write everything down I was feeling, but then I wouldn't like keep it like a log, like I wouldn't keep it as a log for one, anybody else to read. Two, I didn't really want to read it again. I would just tear up the page. Like, I just needed to dump. I needed to dump, not in a bad way. I need to take a dump. I needed to dump my thoughts on paper. And then I just crumbled it up and threw it away. And that was still helpful because I was getting out what I was feeling, and I was bringing awareness to what I was feeling. The next step is substitution. So replacing food as the comfort with a new comfort. And that can be exercise. Exercise helps a lot with stress and just your mental health in general. If you're feeling lonely, having like a support system, a support person, a friend that you can go to, a family member, whoever that may be, that you can call or text just to kind of be able to vent to. Like, it's important to vent to somebody that you trust, especially when you're going through something that really getting you down. And maybe people don't even know that you're lonely. They may not understand you're lonely, but you have to communicate that. And I think that that's one thing that we fail to do, is really be honest and open about our feelings and communicate that to people, and not just assume that people know, especially with spouses. My husband, I've been married to him for 15 years, and he still doesn't always know why I'm upset. He just doesn't know. So I can't just assume and say, well, you should know, and that's it. It just doesn't work that way. So communication. And then for fatigue, sadness, being able to take a power nap if you can. I know that's not always possible, but if you can, I mean, it has helped many people. Maybe hydrating, maybe your body just needs water. Like, you're so drained, so exhausted, and you just need to refuel yourself with hydration. Like I mentioned before, going out for a walk is very helpful, just to clear your thoughts. For me, what I like to do a lot, if I can go for a walk, I will. But even if I can't, I will try to find a place where I can have some solitude. A lot of times I hide in my bathroom. just close the door. They still find me and they know how to unlock the door. But I will go in there for whatever allotted time I can, even if it's 15 minutes, even if it's just that 15 minutes. And I will throw on some worship music. I will pray. I will read the word just so I can get grounded in my faith, build up that relationship with God and be able to have some clarity on what I'm going through instead of just reaching for food. And these are all super helpful. These are all things that I've done for myself, and I encourage other people, especially my clients, to do to help them combat the emotional eating that we can tend to do. Another thing is just we create habits around eating that is kind of like clockwork. So one example that I always use is eating in front of the TV. When I was growing up, we did that a lot. We ate in front of the TV. So it just became a natural habit for me. Whenever I was watching something, I was like, oh, it's time to eat, right? Like, it's time to have a snack. I should be putting something in my mouth, right? And that just became a habit just because that's what I always saw in my own family, what I grew up with. And that I had to learn to change. And even my kids now, they'll mention to me like, oh, can we watch something while we eat? And I'm like, no, because you're just developing this habit of eating just because you're watching something, a movie, a video, TV, or whatever. And we need to break those cycles. It's kind of like when we walk into a bathroom, and because every time we go to the bathroom, I mean, you don't normally go to the bathroom for anything else but to use the toilet or a tub or a shower, right? Except for me when I'm hiding from everybody. That's now, but usually if I walk in, I'm like, I should go pee. Like, I walked in here. This is what I normally do. I should go pee. And that's just a habit. And so, I mean, it's a good thing to go pee. That's not a bad thing. But what I'm trying to get across to you guys is that if you see that maybe you're a person that watches TV a lot, or you do, watch TV at night because, people work in the morning. Go, when is the best time to watch TV? When you're not working, right, at night. And so you might have it trained in your brain to eat late at night because you're watching something on TV. So just being aware of those habits and trying to change those through these methods, I think will be exceptionally a game changer for you if you can start putting it to practice. And then the last thing I want to encourage is to help with this, to help prevent this, is being aware of self-care, like having those moments to yourself, getting short breaks when you can, doing something that makes you feel good. Those are my ideas of self-care. Not like having to spend lots of money and going shopping and getting your nails done, getting your hair done. Those things are nice and we can do them from time to time. But when I'm talking about self-care on a daily basis, I'm saying getting those moments of quiet, being able to take some breathing, being able to pray alone, no distractions, away from all the noise that is constantly overwhelming you, and having those 10, 15 minutes that you can just tune in to what you need to think about, what you need to focus on. Having clarity is so important. So anyways, I hope that was helpful to you guys. And if you struggle with emotional eating, and it's been part of the reason why you have not been able to lose weight, and you're going towards those chips or those cookies or cake or your kids' snacks or your husband's late night habits or whatever it is, then I want to invite you to my 3-day event, Drop 10 and Keep It Off, November 18th through the 20th. It's going to be a really great time. We're going to cover all these topics and more to help you have clarity on your next steps on how to lose those 10 pounds or more. And definitely the main focus is to keep it off, not to keep going back and forth. That is the one thing that I struggle with my entire life. And I'm proud to say that today I'm standing at 76-pound loss for the past 3 years. And so I want the same for all the women that I work with, because there's a lot of women that I have worked with already that has had that same situation, that same struggle, that they have been on that roller coaster. And there is a way, there is a system to this that is going to be a game changer for your life, to not only help you lose the weight, but to help you build your confidence and your faith. So I hope this was helpful, and I can't wait to speak with you guys again tomorrow for our next Make Dinner With Me. But I'm going to eat my meal, which is probably a little cold right now because I went on a tangent talking, but it was necessary. Going to finish the pasta now, but thank you guys so much for joining me for another live. If you're live, thank you. And if you're watching the replay, let me know in the comments below that you're watching the replay. Say hashtag replay fam, just so I can know that you watched it afterwards. And if you have questions, please leave them below. All right, that's it for today. I'm just going to look at the comments that I can see on Instagram real quickly. And Melissa says, you must be thinking of me. People drive her crazy, big time overwhelmed. Agree. Yes, and mine too, I think, was in regards to the husband. Anyways, I hope you guys have a great rest of the night, and I will see you tomorrow on our next live. Bye. God bless.